Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second qualifying match for the 2021 The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament, where we will be selecting 128 people to participate in the bracket round to earn the title of World Champion of Link to the Past Randomizer. My name is Phantom Ryu, tonight joined by Days Cloud. Days Cloud, how is it going? What are we looking at today?
Well, it's going well right here, man. We've got a great race tonight here. We're pulling 127 people through the ringer here. We've got a hard standard seed here. Okay, so standard start meaning you're gonna run through the castle just like you do pretty much every other day. And the hard mode means we're gonna start limiting some of your items here. So if you want silvers, not gonna get them. You want butter sword, not going to get it. 14 hearts, no mail upgrades. It is basically as close to NMG as a rando seed can kind of get there. Going to feature today, we got a Bigdunka and Acktheboker on here, but there are, like I said, 127 people running this thing. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
It absolutely is. And these are two very talented runners here. Of course, Bigdunka, very famous for his Link to the Past ladder Discord, and Acktheboker has been a mainstay at the top tier of Link to the Past randomizer runners for at least 4 years now, as long as I've been playing. So this is going to be a good contest between two we're seeing on stream, and of course the other 125 entrants that are in this match. This tournament is starting off guns blazing, barn burner, slobber knocker, even if you want to call it that. Of course, Bigdunka here using the Ultra Sprite, and looks like Acktheboker is using Santa Link. And apparently Bwayne is the best. Don't know about that. Bwayne was participating in the race. Not sure if he is in this one, but we will be keeping everybody up to speed on the status of the race today. And this should be an excellent one. Yesterday's was kind of a jet seed.
Yeah, you're going to have to see exactly what we get out of this. And it looks like we're off here. The chest is a secret to everyone. And we're going to start very quickly, find out exactly what is our starting weapon today. As we start out with a quick heart container in Link's house here. What are you kind of hoping for this first, for our way through Hyrule Castle?
Well, you know, there could be anything. Of course, everyone knows what weapon I would like to see. However, I would like to point out that heart container there in Link's house is a good find, because as you mentioned earlier, we are limited to the number of hearts that we can get in this race, and finding a full heart container that early is surely a good sign for our runners. But it could be bombs. It could be the ice rod. It could be the fire rod. It is the bow.
All right, so that means we're probably going to be looking here real quick at a map check here, just within the next couple of seconds there, finding out if anyone's going to be making a quick early dash over to Eastern there. Now, Bigdunka choosing not to pick up the magic, at least one of the magic pots there, sitting next to that chest. Acktheboker taking a second there, picking up one there, so just in case you run into a situation where there's, you're going to be checking powder in the village there, he's got a little bit of magic to do that there.
Absolutely. And of course, you saw Bigdunka there taking out a couple enemies. Of course, what they want right now is a bomb. At just one, more would be better, but just one would be essential, because nobody wants to have to wait and get the gloves to go back and get the back of escape without bombs. So you may see our runners strategically taking out some enemies here in the hopes that there will be a bomb drop.
Well, from what I saw there, that looked like we got the fairy drop on a Bigdunka screen, which just means that somewhere in this pack there's the 8 bomb drop. Now, it's going to be buried a little bit, so these guys are going to have to work for it. But coming out of this area right now, we should probably be finding all of our runners with a full magic drop eventually. And, well, of course, if the drops are actually going to cooperate, because man, there hasn't been anything yet from either side.
No, there hasn't. And if there's the full magic decanter, but it'll still be there when Bigdunka comes back. You've got to believe he's going to pick that up. But what Days Cloud was talking about is that every enemy in this game has a certain pack of items that they can drop. Now, the prize packs themselves are randomized among the enemies, but the prize packs are the same. They're just mixed up between the different enemies that had them in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what we're going to find here is you see that Dunka is going ahead and he's making sure to kill all the soldiers and the green guards and soldiers, green guards. And we're going to find exactly, trying to find that 8 bomb pack. Now, it looks like he just got the red rupee drop there. So he should be the next one, I believe, is the bomb drop. Now, he can also go and kill the snakes in escape there to try to go ahead and get those bombs. So it does look like if our runners do have the game knowledge there, speaking mostly for the runners off screen, that everybody should be okay and be able to check the 3 chests in the back of escape.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely, we know these 2 runners that we're featuring here on stream have that knowledge. And so it's just going to be a matter of when. And as you pointed out, the snakes, aka the ropes, which I've never understood, also share the same prize pack with the guards. So, if you miss out on it on the guards, you can get it with the ropes.
Yeah, definitely. So we should be finding that pretty quickly here. Dunka's just going to go ahead and skip those guards in the hallway here, see if Ack takes a second to maybe farm for stuff. They're going to throw one thing. Grit's the fairy drop, so that's the first one. So now Ack knows exactly what drop he's on too. I kind of expect him to kind of go ahead and take a little bit of extra time killing things now.
We're coming up here on the what do you even call that? The facade, the shelf, whatever, behind the throne, getting into the dark area of escape here. For anyone who may be new to Randomizer, you do not need the lamp for this section. In standard mode, you will always have the cone of light in the escape sewers. However, you will not have them anywhere else. Now, let's see if Bigdunka can get that 8 bomb drop. He doesn't get it there. Got a couple more chances here, however. There's the 8 bomb drop.
All right, and both runners now are going to have exactly what they need here. They've got 8 bombs, they've got full magic. Everything is nice and good and happy in the world for them. So it's time to get things going and find out exactly where it is, where in Hyrule we got to find the rest of these items at.
Absolutely. Another thing that our runners want to do here is both of them want to make sure that they get at least 100 rupees before they go up to Kakariko Village, because you want to be able to get the item for the bottle vendor that costs 100 rupees. If they had not found bombs, you would also want an additional 50 rupees to be able to buy bombs in Kakariko, because you're going to need at least 4 to get everything in Kakariko. And there is our sword in the back of escape. 2 swords! Wow,
that's a bit of a start right there. So let's just call it an immediate Agaseed or something here at this point. There, 2 swords in the back of escape. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so nobody wants to see the lamp anytime soon, because the lamp would be a big sign that this might be an Agahnim required seed. And that is an additional 5 minutes that you just add on to your time.
Yeah, it's not great. It's one of those things you're kind of hoping to avoid, but I'm going to go with 20 rupees just here in the sanctuary chest itself. But it's a little early to be calling that right now. But man, you do not see 2 swords in the back of escape every day. Now, for any runner playing yesterday, they're going to start. Swords were a big issue.
Yes,
yesterday.
They were, and it's still a sore subject. Thank you for bringing it up.
Sorry. But that should probably make most people very, very, very happy for this, because having a sword to kind of go through the rest of the game early is gonna makes this a lot easier. See Dunka going ahead and checking our bush grab there. He's just giving us singles today, so we're going to ignore him for the rest of the day.
And Dunka is going to check the item that is on Lumberjack Cave. It did not look like it was anything important to me, but I could just be old and blind.
It was so fast, and I don't actually know. It almost looked like a shovel, but
Chat coming up and saying looked like a big 20. That's what I thought I saw, but I didn't want to trust my old eyes.
Yeah, it was a little hard for me to see as well there. So as we find a book there in the mushroom spot, and now Bigdunka deciding immediately, well, I've got a book and I'm in the Lost Woods. Well, let's go get this thing out of the way here. So get your pet hypes in chat, because we're going to get this checked in within the first 8 minutes of the match.
Yep, absolutely. And it is a little piece of love. No one is going to be going back for that. The ped is dead.
Now, interestingly enough, we did get a map check earlier in this seed here with finding out that Eastern is a pendant, which kind of gives that bow a little bit less value here in the early going, because now that we know that the pet is dead, there's not really any incentive to go into Eastern. So I guess, I don't know, we'll have to see what the runners do with that, as we find a glove there in the bottom of Blind's hut here, as well as the blue boomerang and a bottle. So the bottle is a great find here in Kakariko.
Absolutely. You can now check Sick Kid and not have to worry about coming back to him later now that we found a bottle. Glove, very important. It's one of the requirements to get Dark World access. But they're going to need either another glove or the hammer plus the Moon Pearl to truly have Dark World access at this point. But definitely not a dearth of items early on in this game.
And jumping over into the well over on Axe side, going to give us a couple more items, starting out with just the big 20 there. And looks like a bottle in the back of the well as well, moving into a couple of other things.
Oh no, the cape. Oh man.
Yeah, that's a cape. Starting to feel a little bit more nervous about that. You see a few more things here. I think I might start feeling very nervous here in a second, as Axe showing some nice knowledge there, trading in his good bee for 100 rupees, which he immediately gives back to get 20 rupees.
That was brilliant. That absolutely brilliant. But it has to be the good bee. It can't be any old bee. It has to be the good bee. But really nicely done there by Ack, because now he has 500 rupees, which means he can go see if King Zora has a scam for us today or not.
And that's kind of important, because when he got that glove, it did throw that extremely out of the way Zora check into logic. So that might be something that we see the runners jumping into, maybe fake flippering after Ice Rod Cave and heading up into the Zora area just to get that out of the way.
Absolutely. They'll certainly do it if somebody finds the Moon Pearl, because obviously the Moon Pearl does allow you to do the water fake flipper glitch into Waterfall Fairy Cave, which of course yesterday was where you had both the hammer and a sword, which was just the darndest thing. Ack about to check the library ledge here. Let's see what awaits us today in the literacy department. Just 20 rupees.
All right, so nothing too interesting there, but we're going to have to go over to race game here, and it looks like Ack's not going to go ahead and check it blind there. In Key Sanity and some other modes, you might see that, but we find 10 arrows, going to get a save and quit, and now it's up to Ack whether he wants to, how thorough he wants to be, probably in the South Shore area.
Yeah, South Shore area has a lot. The 5 items in Mini Muldworm Cave, plus the aforementioned possibility to fake flipper. But Ack is going to just gamble on Eastern, it looks like. Can't really blame him. You got the bow this early on, and it's required for Eastern, so he may just be checking Sahasrah's closet here, but since he has the bow, I would surmise that he's going to check out Eastern Palace.
It does seem that way for sure. This seems like a kind of a long way to come out just for Saha, so I would kind of imagine that if you're going to do this, you're going to full go. And I wonder if this is a bit of, hey, it feels like Aga. Go ahead, sir.
And that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. The Kane of Samaria in Sahasrah's closet. He does not go into Eastern Palace, but that Kane of Samaria is going to come in handy here later, particularly in both Swamp and Ice Palace.
Now, I kind of wonder if you're reading this seed early, you've got the 2 early swords, you've got the cape here. If there's going to be somebody who does an early Eastern play, someone out of the 127 people are going to make that early Eastern play, and just if there is something in there that might save them quite a bit of time. It's too early to tell, but we're going to see that here at some point, probably.
Absolutely. With the number of runners that we have in this race, somebody is going to make that play. You can't say that it's a bad play, because you're just following the breadcrumbs that the seed has given you here. And that's the thing about rando, is sometimes those things pay off, other times they don't. Looks like we're going to have Dunka heading over to Mini Muldworm Cave before Ack. Again, 5 items in here, but these pesky mini Moldorms, other than Dead Rocks, possibly the most annoying enemies in the game.
I'm not going to argue with you on that at all. They are the bane of many runs there. If you go in there with 3 hearts and accidentally whiff on a sword shot and then end up having a game over and start the whole thing over again, that doesn't feel good. As looks like we've got a tempered sword there and half magic out of a mini Moldorm cave. So hey, that's pretty nice.
I thought this was supposed to be hard. Hey, look, when you are in hard mode, though, that half magic is a lot more important when you have no mail upgrades, limited safeties, etc. That half magic takes on a whole new meaning with its offensive power, particularly when combined with the fire rod.
And yeah, to just kind of bring something up, that is the maximum amount of equipment upgrades we're going to be getting today. We're not finding any more mail. We're not finding any more swords. This is it for the rest of the game for these runners here. You're going to hope for a few more hearts, but this is what you're dealing with.
Absolutely. They can get up to 14 total hearts after that, every other item. The way hard standard works is it will actually place 4 swords, but once you've found 3 of them, the 4th sword will be replaced with a 20 rupee item. Same goes for wherever the mail upgrades would have been placed, etc. So if you see like that 50 that Acktheboker just had there, if it says 20, that means it is an item that would have been available in a easier mode, but has been disabled by hard mode.
Yeah, so like we're going to be seeing, if we do get like the lovely thing of yesterday where Zora throws out the silver arrows, but they will turn magically to a green 20 the moment that you pick them up, which was just kind of funny to watch yesterday.
Yeah. So it looks like neither of our runners are going to check with Sahasrahla to see what dungeon is the green pendant, because if you do talk to Sahasrahla here, he will tell you what dungeon is the green pendant.
Now, kind of an interesting little divergence here. Now, Dunka out of Ice Rod Cave went ahead and saved and quit. Now, he's going to go directly into Eastern, while Ack, on the other side, he's heading up to do his flipper checks here as he pulls just a little starter plastic shield there from the hobo. He's probably going to go all the way up to Zora because, again, Zora is in logic.
Yes. Now, what Ack will not be able to get into, though, is the 2 items in Waterfall Ferry, and I do not... Now, he may have sufficient items to splash delete to get the item that's on Zora Ledge, but we'll see.
Yeah, he does. He's got the bow, and he's got himself his bombs as well. So he does a good job of jumping out of the water there without getting hit by any of the crabs there, because unfortunately that would just immediately kill him there as a fail-safe, as looks like Zora Ledge item is just 5 rupees, so we're not going to be worrying about that at all.
That's fair. But we will see here on Ack's screen the purveyor extraordinaire of life lessons, King Zora himself. And there is the fire rod in Eastern Palace. That is definitely a required item. So yeah, the following the bow to Eastern Palace, as you predicted earlier, was kind of the play there, or at least a play.
Yeah, and for those runners who can actually get in there, who can do the Aga Tower climb with just the fire rod, that might be enough to send people directly there. But we're still sans Moon Pearl.
We are.
We're 17 minutes in here, and we haven't found that extremely important item there. So I would be very shocked to see anyone go ahead and jump and just be gambling Moon Pearl on Pyramid today. But yeah, it could happen.
It could. Now, interesting thing that chat pointed out here, and they are correct, is that find for the fire rod, but there's the lamp, which makes it irrelevant. But if Bigdunka had not found the lamp, our most knights would still be in logic, because the logic will place items behind the dark room that's north of the big chest in Eastern, but not this room. Because if you walk forward, shoot the fireball or the fire rod twice, you will light the torch at the other end of the room and you will be able to see. So Armos Knights, the boss of this dungeon, are now in logic.
That is true, and what's also in logic now is we've got a Act giving us the fart cave text there, but what's more in logic now is desert is possibly completable depending on where the key lies. If we don't have a key on the torch here, we could be seeing something on Landmo, which is going to be a big help to Bigdunka because both of the fire sources in the game were sitting in Pendant Eastern, and Ack decided not to go in there.
Right, and Ack will not be able to complete the dungeon without a fire source. We just have bombs on Desert Ledge. He's going to run on in here and open up Eastern Palace. But yeah, in order to open the door to Landmo's, you must have a fire source, and they are both sitting in Eastern Palace. Pendant Eastern, double fire source. Amazing.
That's an ugly start there for people, because I can it's very reasonable to be like, nah, it's a pendant, I don't want to go there. And especially if you know that, say this is a pendant and you checked ped, you've got even less incentive to go in here. But unfortunately, it seems like the play, and yeah, Ack finding out very quickly, that's the big key sitting in the middle of Desert. Desert is completable here. Might still be boots locked. Technically, it is boots locked, though.
Depending on where it may not be relevant depending on where the items are, because if that is an item, and it is, if the other dungeon item is sitting on Landmala's, then Desert is full completable at this point.
Right, it'll be full completable. It just won't actually technically be in logic, because the game
Correct.
always has to assume that you're going to use the keys in the worst way possible there. So we're going to have to take a quick look here. When Dunka goes in there, where is that other item? Because he will, I think, undoubtedly go ahead and kill Landmo. It's going to be... he's got Fire Rod and he's got Tempered Sword, so I'm not expecting it to take particularly long. And kind of another little time save that Dunka just pulled. He went ahead and killed Armos Knights there, saw that the item wasn't anything of interest there, and immediately saved and quit out of Eastern Palace there, not picking up the pendant, so not wasting the time there that it took.
Right, because knowing that the pet is dead and knowing that the blue or red pendants are irrelevant, otherwise, there's no need for him to waste his time going through the fanfare and everything.
Let's see here. I'm looking through what our items are, and it seems like we're missing one or two things. Now, looking through what we have there, after Desert, you kind of have to assume that I think Dunka will be tempted to go to the mountain, because I'm trying to think of anything else that either of the runners could do at this point.
I'm struggling myself. I think they've done pretty much everything. So yeah, if Desert turns out not to be the play here, remember we do still have one item here, possibly in Desert Palace. Even though that item's not in logic. Sometimes logic breaks are big breaks in your time. But yeah, you're right. The mountain seems to be the only place. So perhaps the old man is holding the Moon Pearl.
That would be a fun thing, or you get up there and find out the Moon Pearl or the old man is holding your boots, and then you have to come back to Desert, and all sorts of craziness happens at that point.
Rando.
Exactly. That's what Rando does to you, and sometimes you just kind of have to shrug your shoulders and go, all right, game, that's fine.
Chat saying, don't curse the players, commentators. That's our job.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do over here.
Commentators' curse is in the job description.
All right, so Ack just getting the bad news that it wasn't just the Fire Rod in Eastern there, it was also the lamp there. You saw a little bit of hesitation from him there, deciding whether he wanted to go directly to the back or if he wanted to go into the big key chest here in Eastern. He's deciding, you know what, I'm just going to full clear the whole thing, because I think, again, you don't have a Moon Pearl yet. You don't necessarily want to go in and start doing the Aga climb here. If it turns out that Moon Pearl is on Pyramid, that's probably a last location for something like 99% of the runners today.
Agreed. 100% agreed. They are absolutely able to do Agahnim now, and Agahnim is in logic with that lamp. So it's good. It might be one of those seeds, Dazed. Might be one of those seeds.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find something to talk about for the 5 or so minutes while these guys are climbing the tower there. But I'm sure we can come up with something.
Probably figure it out. But Dunka gonna head on in to Landmos right now, and he has got probably one of the best items for Landmalas, that fire rod with half magic. Lovely. He's gonna make short work of those worms.
All right, setting up at the top of the screen. They're going to aim for 2 fire rod shots in each one. Unfortunately, the landmill RNG, terrible for him there. Short hops both opposite directions there. Going to be able to get these guys down, though, on the second cycle. And the second item in Desert Palace is locked behind our boots today. So shenanigans could be afoot.
Shenanigans. Oh no, not shenanigans. Anything but shenanigans. But yes, you're correct. There's one item locked behind Ack, getting a nice little quick kill there on the Knights. Ack does not save and quit to save himself the fanfare. But yeah, Dunka saves and quits to Sanctuary. I think, like we were saying before, where else can he go at this point other than up that mountain?
Yeah, time to see what exactly that old man is hiding here. With the items that we currently have, even if this is an Aga Seed, which at this point it almost assuredly is, the runners are extremely limited in what they could do after Aga. We could do Pod, and that's it.
Pretty much.
I'm kind of expecting to see either a hook shot show up or something like that up here. You can also do catfish as well, right? Thank you, Chad. They're pointing that out. That is right. Always kind of forget about him at times, and that's never bitten me in the butt forgetting about catfish.
Yeah, Quakefish, one of the most out of the way. Wow, old man, you're just gonna. I mean, that was a decent tip. It's better than the old man giving you, a nickel. But man, at any rate, yeah, catfish, Quakefish being that out of the way check that nobody wants to do. That has never ever bitten anyone in the behind.
I'm kind of curious, is Dunka going to go in the top of a Spec Rock Cave? Okay, looks like he is. I might have just jumped directly in because you have nothing else to check. And hey, there's that hook shot we were thinking about.
Nice call. Nice call. Yeah, it's one of the few things that gives you progression now that's not the Moon Pearl. Right?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of expect that we're going to find Moon Pearl over in the Paradox Cave area as well, likely. But who knows? This could be one of those extremely, one of those seeds where you're going, hey, this really looks like an Aga Seed up until immediately it takes a dramatic left turn and goes, hey, nope, it's not actually an Aga Seed. Hope you didn't do it early.
Yep. And and again, someone in this race with 127 people, somebody gambled on that. It still could be the right answer, but odds are lower and lower now that we have so many checks here on the eastern side of Death Mountain. 7 in Paradox Cave alone, 8 if you count Spiral Cave, and depending on what items are in there, we might have even more.
I mean, my gut from playing and watching Rando for a number of years at this point is telling me that this is likely Aga at this point. Just being 2 items away feels like it's probably just going to be feels like it, but I have been wrong many times in the past, unfortunately. So we're going to have to see here. We're going to start with the 2 chests in the bottom/top of Paradox Cave. Here, nothing of interest in either of those. So up to the main event here on the top floor here with 5 chests behind these mini Moldorms.
And we have 10 arrows. Big 20. Big 20. And 50 roops and a heart.
That is unbelievably underwhelming.
Wow. So it's Spiral Cave or Aga, man. I think you called it right. I think this is going to be an Aga seed, and if the Moon Pearl's not here in Spiral Cave, which has got to be Dunka's next check, Moon Pearl sitting on the pyramid, man.
Wow, that would be quite a change here as we get a look at the floating island, as we've got just a piece of heart there. All right, so we're gonna take a quick stroll through this nice long cave.
Now, what could be interesting here is if this turns out to be the hammer, and then you have to go over to Tower of Hera to get something else.
Oh, then you got to go right back up to the top there, and it turns out it was Vanilla Pearl this entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the whole time.
Oh man, here we go. Okay, so Spiral Cave, you've got bombs. It's got to be on the pyramid.
All of that just for the Aga seed that we feared from getting 2 swords in Escape. We have feared since then that this was an Aga seed, and it's looking like it is.
And it looks like we got Bigdunka taking the long walk over to Zora maybe here.
I think that's the only thing he can check right now. I mean, he's probably gonna check Hobo as well, but
yeah. I mean that's kind of this. I'm a little surprised that Dunka's going this way and not doing like not doing the Ancilla deletion, the splash deletion up a little bit closer here. This is going to work. It's a little bit longer, unfortunately, for him here, but it probably means we're going to see Ack first into the Aga Tower climb here. And that is exactly where he is going. We're making a beeline for this Wizard's Tower here because we're off to murder the wizard.
The first time.
We're going
to have to murder him again later.
And that time, surprisingly, is much easier than the first time. Well, I guess we can go ahead and maybe start up the... how many blue balls do you think Aga will give to our runners today? Now, that's one thing. It is going to be uniform between the 2 runners here. Every single runner is going to get the same amount of blue balls, assuming that they don't make a mistake and accidentally miss one.
I'm gonna guess 3.
3 is a pretty reasonable number. Now, if you're playing this, you're kind of hoping for 2. Now, Dunka, unfortunately, forgetting that, you don't actually have the Moon Pearl. You're still going to be swimming.
Yep. Yep, he figured it out. There we go. Yeah, not much to say about Aga Tower, but since our runners are going to be stepping over each other here, and we're going through this long Agahnim Tower, we'd like to take this opportunity to remind you to follow these runners here on Twitch. They are putting in hard work for your entertainment. Why don't you give them your attention, give them some love. And for all of your 2021 Link to the Past Randomizer tournament needs, stay tuned to the SpeedGaming channels 1 through 6 and a Link to the Past Randomizer, ALTTPR Randomizer 1 through 5, because that's where we will be restreaming a lot of this tournament here on Twitch on all of those channels. You don't want to miss a thing. You don't want to miss a single race, even if it's 4 a.m. in your neck of the woods, because it's all going to be right here.
Yeah. Moving through this thing, Ack is just flying right up the tower there. We're already up to basically the top floor. Going ahead and taking a quick second there and getting his keys there. We're going to be up to the top floor in just a second, and then it's on to Aga there. A very nice quick climb from Ack there. We're past the 30-minute mark here, and we're going to be getting what we imagine is the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. It could also be something leading to the Moon Pearl. I saw a fun little suggestion of it's actually boots leading to the Moon Pearl over on our right side of desert. But we're gonna go in just a second to find out exactly what it is we're gonna be seeing.
Yeah, this is, I mean, if it's something like that, boots leading to desert, I'd be wondering if this was a plando. Yes,
Man,
correct. The chat is correct. Yes, hammer is also a possibility at this point. You could have the real Plando level of it being mushroom and having to turn mushroom in on a fetch quest to get something else. Like lots of interesting possibilities here to make the runner suffering our entertainment. But
yeah, it's looking like we're not going to have a seed kind of like yesterday, where it was an extremely quick seed. Looks like this one's dragging it out a little bit here as we're into the Aga fight. And did I even see a blue ball?
I did not. The 0 blue ball dream.
I mean, that's fantastic there, as we get to see. All right, we've got a green pendant hanging out on Turtle Rock, a pendant Thieves Town, which is kind of an ew sort of moment there, and it looked like that was also a red crystal down in Mire, and of course that is our moon pearl sitting there on the pyramid.
Yep, there we are. Now they're still gonna have to. Do you still have to save and quit, or do you just okay? There you go. Just jump down or do a screen transition, and you turn back.
You will poof back into the way that you are here now. Act deciding, since he's got the hook shot and he's got his glove here, he's going to come up here first and he's going to go to catfish. And then I'm kind of thinking from this, that means we're going across the river. And
I would
going to take
so
the
as
long
well.
walk over there.
Yeah, no mirror to do graveyard ledge or mitts or boots to do King's Tomb at this point. So yeah, it is going to be a long and eventful walk. We'll be able to check what item is on Bumper Cave and can go straight to and clear Skull Woods at this point.
That's kind of nice there right now, because you can jump strictly into that, because Skull Woods, yeah, is a crystal, and that's the whole point of the game, is to try to get these crystals done as quickly as possible. Now, the other idea is to go into pod. Now, the problem is that going into pod is kind of slow. You have to walk through the maze there. And then when you're in pod, you don't have the hammer and you don't have a mirror to kind of easily get in and out of it.
Yeah, that makes for a very, very tedious clear of that dungeon. It is a crystal, and so many times pod does have progression, but at this point the question is, do I want to take all the time that it's going to take on the off chance that whatever progression, if there is some in there, is actually going to matter at this point?
Yeah, and that's part of the fun of Rando, is just sitting there and trying to decide exactly, okay, so which one of these kind of awkward decisions do I need to make this time? As Dunka gets his map check, and we're going to take a quick look here as Axe kind of leading the play for us here, and we're going to go up to Bumper Cave and see that it's just 3 bombs, so that cape turns out to be pretty worthless today. Ooh, hey, Dunka is doing the thing that we just talked about. We are going directly into Palace of Darkness on his side. That means we should be looking at, we're going to get all the information that we need for, as far as the restream goes here, as quickly as possible. All right, so immediately here in Skull Woods, going to the back here, going to the vanilla big key chest here, going to find a small key, probably going to continue on his way all the way to Mothula there with that tempered sword and the 7 hearts. Mothula is dangerous, but I kind of imagine that not Dunka, but Ack will be able to handle him. On the other side there, Bigdunka moving in straight to Palace of Darkness here. We're going to find out real quick if we're bow locked. Not that that matters, but because as bow was the first thing we found today. As we're not just bow locked. We ended up with a kind of a god pod. So theoretically, if it turns out that there's nothing in here and someone was able to put off pod, if you came here in go mode, you would basically hit this perfectly. That almost never happens though, so we'll have to see exactly if today is that one in kind of a million case. All right, and Ack is dropping into the moth fight here. Does have sword beams right now, so we're gonna have to kind of make sure that he gauges the distance of the moth here pretty well, as moth being a bit of a jerk, staying on the spikes. Not even a single hit taken there by Ack. That's a great moth fight. Gets the compass and gets, more importantly, his first crystal of the day here, sitting at 38 minutes. And Bigdunka.
Mitts in pod. Bigdunka gets the mitts. Wow.
So now the question is still now, if Ack finds a hammer over on this side of the world, maybe Ack was still making the right play, but ooh, man.
Man, it's getting spicy over here. Now, Ack, they're doing a great job with Moth as well. And, you know, the thing about Moth is not hard, because Moth is not the boss. The boss is actually the rune.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Between him not taking any damage from those spikes and everything else involved there, it's such an easy thing to just kind of have one get a little bit away from you, and then next thing you know, you're down and you're staring at the floor. So, Ack finishing up Skull Woods here. Gonna have to find out exactly what the two items are in here. Bigdunka, on the other hand, those mitts open up a large part of the world to him there. With that hook shot, he's got access to all of Dark Death Mountain. He's got the easy access to the Village of Outcasts area there. He no longer has to take that extremely long walk, as Ack grabs our first green 20 of the, or first or second green 20 of the day.
Here's the big key, not quite what he wanted to see. See what else Pod has to offer here, because there's still a few items left here in this dungeon. We've got a small key and another small key, so that means we do have an item in Harmless Hellway. If there's nothing in Harmless Hellway, you wouldn't have 3 keys at this point, the way Bigdunka has routed it.
All right, it looks like Ack got the second item out of Skull Woods. Didn't find anything in Harmless Hellway. It looked like that was just the compass. So
just the compass. It's a significant portion of the time, Harmless Hellway just has another key, and you can avoid it if you've completed the pod the way that Bigdunka did. And by that time you have 2 keys, you don't even need to bother checking it. It's always going to be a key, because of the way the key logic is and the way Bigdunka's routed this dungeon.
And kind of finishing up pod here over on Bigdunka's side, it looks like it might have just been those mitts. Mitts might have been the only thing that you wanted in here so far, and yeah, that's it. So where is that hammer? That's the big question here. If Ack finds that hammer, then he's going to be able to just kind of go through pod really quickly, find what he needs, and then be able to clear it in just one shot.
The question is he going to full clear the dungeon, or is he just going to do the first 4? A lot of runners will just check the first 4 items in the front part of Thieves Town here. He has yet to find an item, so that may push him farther.
I mean, without checking the outside of Village of Outcasts there, I'm kind of thinking he goes ahead and just checks the first 4.
Meanwhile, as you pointed out earlier, Bigdunka does have access to all of Dark Death Mountain, and that looks like that is exactly where Ultros is going today.
So that'll give us the 2 chests here in Super Bunny and the 4 up in Hookshot Cave, and also let us know what the Turtle Rock Medallion is.
No progression yet, just a little piece of love and 10 arrows. Ack does take the Death Warp. He's going to go finish up Village of Outcast here. Can't say that that's a bad choice.
Chess Game's not having any answers for us here either, as we get a quick look and find out that it's Ether on Turtle Rock entry today.
Bigdunka going to hop on into Hookshot Cave. We noted earlier that there's nothing special on Floating Island, so that's not a concern here. There is the swag net in the brewery.
Well, now, if we want to get fancy fighting Aga too, we can go ahead and do that. More importantly, though, if the runners kind of decide we can go ahead and catch a ferry, as the mountain is dead.
That was absolute junk Hookshot Cave. Wow.
That's gotta kind of feel bad for Bigdunka there, because you make that play hoping to find something there, knowing that it sinks quite a bit of time actually going all the way over there, where you could be kind of going through and also, say, clearing dungeons. You can see he's immediately motoring over here to the Village of Outcasts to probably go ahead and finish his Skull Woods dip there.
Yeah, I mean, and Hookshot Cave and just Dark Death Mountain in general so often have at least one good item. I mean, it's almost a rule that there's something good there, but that is highly unusual. We will see probably soon here. The other cave that could be sometimes disappointing. Ack is probably heading there right now. That is the cave formerly known as Hype Cave. It lost its designation as Hype Cave a while back when it stopped being hype, but it may be this particular seed. We're running out of places to find good stuff at this point.
Yeah, no, if it's not Hype Cave, I'm starting to wonder, oh god, are we going to have to do a mirrorless smith chain? Because I'm thinking we might have to do a mirrorless smith chain here, but hopefully Hype Cave can actually deliver something interesting today.
We're about to see, or as TJ Maelstrom likes to call it, Johnny Two Bomb Speakeasy here.
I've never heard that, but I kind of love it.
Yep. We got a pizza fart. We got a shovel. Can you dig it? We got the red boomerang and a piece of heart. So it could be time to dig for your progression today.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on pause for a minute and tell you exactly what sort of Hype Cave we actually have as soon as Ack walks over here into the little haunted woods and digs up what we got.
Yeah, this could make Hype Cave very hype. It could make it a complete dud.
All right, part of me is feeling dud right now, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
We shall see. Yeah, kind of a dud.
Wow. Just wow there. Well done, game.
I think you're right. I think it's time for Mirrorless Smith Chain, which is ugly.
Yeah, but for Ack first, that means we've got to go into Palace of Darkness. So we're getting a forced pod double dip from our runners today, because we've seen everything else. It's either Smiths or it's back of Pendant Thieves Town. Well, I remember seeing some people in the qualifier room there kind of talking and hoping that, it was more of an all dungeons sort of seed today. I think they might be getting their wish.
It certainly was not yesterday, I will say that. Duncan here might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going into... Okay, he's going to hit his cape, but he's going into Moth with only 2 hearts. With Green Mail, if he gets a single hit by the Moth, he is dead. But it looks like he's going to take that out. Yeah, it's done. It's over. Nicely done there. You only need 4 hits with Tempered Sword.
Yeah, that was smart play from Duncan there. Being safe, you got a half magic, you got a cape there. What's even more fun is that the cape is not going to drain magic while you're swinging your sword there, so you can just kind of go full aggro on Moth at that point. He's going to go down.
Just hammer on that sword button like you're trying to hover. So Ack is going to go in here. He's going to find his mitts. Dunka going back through Skull Woods. As we know, not going to find too much here, but that is going to put Bigdunka in a good position to just go ahead and pick up Jeremiah, the bullfrog, and do the mirrorless smith chain. He's right there. He's going to find nothing here in Skull, and that's pretty much all he's got left because he's already been to Pod.
Yeah, I mean, now if I'm Dunka, I could see myself talking myself into going into the back of Thieves Town here. I really could, because you know that Hype Cave is pretty much one of the last things you have left. You at this point you just kind of want to be as thorough as possible. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see exactly what he does there, because it's not an easy call to make there. Pendant Thieves is one of the things that I hate more than anything else in this game.
A lot of people seem to share your opinion there, because it's that dungeon that you can almost always complete. Like, sure, there's the off chance that there's an item sitting in the big chest that you need the hammer for, but otherwise, as long as you've got a sword or the hammer, you can clear it. And so it's sitting there, tantalizing, daring you, saying, maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it there, is you're sitting there, and anytime that it's Pendant Thieves, you kind of have that moment where you're going, yeah, is this gonna this is gonna have something today, isn't it? And then you go back, it's empty.
Yep. Here's something I don't know that we have seen before. Bigdunka, it looks like he is going to go check Bumper Cave. I don't know if we saw that already, but it's just triple booms. So
yeah, we went through that earlier and saw that from Ack, but so Ack's gonna have to go back through here, and we've got ourselves. He's gonna just take a little bit of time clearing out the whole back of Pod, finding out nothing there, and then in his case, he's gonna have the same thing. So after all of this time, and after the divergence that we saw after Aga, and everything else, I think both runners are going to end up pretty much at the exact same place at the exact same time.
And that is the beauty of this game, that you could have such a diversion and then an hour or more into the game, and now our runners are in exactly the same place. It is truly amazing to see that kind of convergence when it happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be completely honest, I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't just these runners, but if it wasn't pretty much all the runners right now, because this seed has just been. Like, I'm trying to see a place where there was like an obvious advantage to have gained, and I'm not seeing it, honestly.
I'm not either. I mean, unless you did the early Aga, but it doesn't really help you, because nice hammer yump there from Acktheboker. But it wouldn't have really helped you too terribly much at this point, given what we know right now. Although, actually, no, now that I think about it, if you went early Aga straight to Pod, got your mitts, you could have more efficiently routed everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you did that before the mountain, you end up with the mitts, you end up on top, and getting through the nothing that is
right,
the caves up here, as Ack's going to go ahead, he's going to check these as well, as Dunka making the play that I was kind of curious about, heading directly into the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah, given what he knows, this is probably a really good choice here, because you don't have much else to do.
Yeah. I mean, sitting here watching Dunka, probably, I imagine Dunka sitting there looking down at his Dunka tracker, looking at the places left on that map, and just kind of going, yeah, I don't know if I have a choice here.
yeah. This is probably a high percentage chance here, but man.
Well, let's get the first chest here up in the attic. As turns out, that's just the map. So Not seeing the small key yet.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's good, but it also kind of might mean whatever item is on blind is not in logic too.
Fair.
So
yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see here. This is a slowly moving seed. I will give it that. It's a slowly moving seed, but it is very interesting because we're kind of just sitting here waiting for what is this next piece? What are we gonna do next? Come on, game, tell me.
And considering that, I just think this is terrible because we've had both Hookshot Cave and Hype Cave with next to nothing in them.
And the answer is not going to be obviously the back of Thieves Town. That was a single rupee in the maiden cell. It's going to, furthermore, that's going to put whatever is locked behind whatever blind has here, that's going to put it completely out of logic as well. So I can guarantee you one thing, the hammer is not here.
I'm seeming to remember that if the key is locked in the big chest, it is in logic. But let's just not confuse anybody right now. Let's just see what's on blind and go from there.
All right, Dunka going ahead, pulling out that cape again for a little bit of extra protection there. Gets a piece of heart, and yeah,
I mean that's a full clear of Thieves Town with nothing to show for it, unfortunately.
Wow. So off to the Smith chain, it looks like.
Yep. After he makes these couple of checks here, the question is he going to pick up Jeremiah and do a mini Froggy World tour? Which I don't see why you necessarily wouldn't at this point.
I think you have to. Ack went ahead. He's already got Jeremiah, so he's going to be the first one through here to find out exactly what we've got. Now, the interesting thing is, it turns out if Jeremiah doesn't have anything, Ack's got to go back into the Dark World to get the purple chest. Does Ack go to the back of Thieves Town at that point? I mean, you're dealing with like the last three checks in the game or something like that for Ack, because I think there was only 2 items currently in Thieves Town, as far as Ack knows.
Correct. That's interesting. Yeah, somebody's mentioning catfish. Now, one of our runners, I believe it was... Oh, there's the mirror on the Smiths.
Oh, that's
There's your
evil.
progression.
Oh, man, that's just so mean.
Yeah, really is. All right. Tower of Hera into logic.
Puts both of our tablets into logic. Cave 45. And
that one chest in Swamp Palace.
There's that one too, and Graveyard Ledge. So,
and ice. Well, ice is not in logic, but ice is now completable. Right? Well, I just thought about that. The mirror had nothing to do with it, but Ice Palace is completable by our runners right now with a fake flipper.
Well, we don't have a hammer yet, and we don't have. That's right. Don't have that. So but I mean, that could very easily be the place where the hammer is. If the seed just wants to get really, really ugly. I mean, man, after yesterday, I was just thinking, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna calm this seed. I'll be done, in about an hour and a half. Everything will be great. Go get some lunch, have a great time. No, this seed is deciding, no, we're going to do this the long way today, sir.
Right. Now, Chad is saying, we need flippers for Swamp, not for that first chest in Swamp Palace. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you do. You do need that. You do need the flips for that. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
It's all
It
good
happens
there.
sometimes. We all make our mistakes. It's the hammer that could be in that first chest in Swamp Palace.
We'd still looking for a lot of fun things. As it turns out, hey, Shovel is hiding. Oh wait, no, that wasn't Shovel. Sorry, what was I thinking? I had my brain just completely did that as well. This seed is starting to mess with your commentators. Please take mercy on us.
Yes, please. Yeah, we've already seen Shovel. Shovel is a piece of heart. So.
All right, so Ack is gonna go on his way there as Dunka went ahead and he finally checked his Shovel, finding out piece of heart. That's not interesting at all. So, and Ack is gonna go ahead and pick up this purple chest and start checking some of these mirror locations down south.
Dunka gonna get his mirror here. Don't know what in the world is inside the purple chest. Now, there is a glitch you can do where you can just leave the purple chest pretty much anywhere you want to in the dark world and still have Gary open it, but doesn't save any time unless you have the boot. So it looks like Ack is just going to take the chest along with him for the ride.
Ack seeing that second shield upgrade and just kind of deciding, you know what? No, thank you.
Well, that would be the maximum shield possible for this game. Red shield is the max you're going to get. You cannot get mirror shield in hard standard.
Well, Dunka making his way up to that portal here. We're going to be seeing him do the exact same thing. So Ack's going to go ahead. We're going to get to see exactly what this purple chest is. Then he'll undoubtedly mirror. Oh, okay. First, we're going to go over to the tablet, I guess, and then come back. You know,
that's a choice.
It's smart because it actually does save the additional mirror transition. So, I mean, in a race where you're talking about like saving a second, 2 seconds, something like that, that's actually kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I had not thought about that. The smart stuff, boys and girls.
Well, another big matter. Well, who feels like going up to Ether Tablet now, I guess, and Tower of Hera? That's where we're headed.
That's pretty much all we got left. Graveyard Ledge was a bust. So, yeah, here we go. It's a tablet and Tower of Hera. And interestingly enough, I mean, you look at this, we are an hour in, and our runners have 1 and 2 crystals. Let me just put it that way. We're an hour in, 1 and 2 crystals.
This is like we keep kind of going on about it. This is just kind of a meanderingly slow sort of seed, but hopefully we're going to start breaking into things. Now at this point, I kind of imagine go mode will end up happening extremely quick and we won't be ready for it. Eventually we will find the place that has the items. Now we haven't done it yet. And it turns out that Ether Tablet is your hammer. After all of that, you finally get your hammer out of Ether Tablet.
Wow. I mean, what else can you say other than just wow?
So let's going through the list of what that actually opens up right now. Helmasaur.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm done. Actually, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a big fan of fake flippering. If you have, particularly have the Cane of Samaria and you can Icebreaker, I've always been a big fan of just running to Ice Palace as soon as you can. It doesn't take that much more time to full clear it now that we have Icebreaker. And if you all of a sudden, out of logic, like the boots or something like that, it can help.
I wasn't 100% sure what Ack was doing there with that. I think he accidentally threw down 1 extra bomb when he was going for this Harapot there. He still tried to do it, which I respect.
I don't have enough intestinal fortitude to even learn Harapot, because I know if I ever do it, there will be an item in the big chest. of Hera or the basement, one of the two.
Well, we'll see on the other side what Dunka's decision is here, as he's about to grab his hammer off of Ether Tablet after doing pretty much the exact same thing that Ack did. So after an hour and so minute of play here, we've got both runners in the exact same dungeon, probably doing almost the exact same thing in about like 10 seconds. As there's only one item here. Yeah, to be honest, if I can Herapot and I know that there's only one item possibly upstairs, I'm 100% doing it. But
yeah, the odds are in your favor.
We've got and Herfy 100% calling it that Dunka was not going to Herapot, and yep, there he goes. He's down into the basement.
Yeah, both our runners. I mean, we're looking at like what, a minute tops separating our two runners right now.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get this bomb jump over to the big chest for Ack here and find out if this big key was worth it. Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah. Quack.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's necessary yet. It could be. We know that Turtle Rock is Ether, but Turtle Rock is also Green Pendant. It is possible that Misery Mire is Quake. We don't know that, though, because we don't have the flute, and we haven't been able to tell. So that is possibly a required item, that is possibly progression, and it's also entirely possible that Misery Mire is Bombos.
Now, the other fun thing with that is like, hey, that's in one of those locations that with Herapot, people are going to skip that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're watching this back and you ended up skipping that chest, sorry. You know, I guess we're gonna have to find out exactly here in a minute there. We're gonna have to grab a flute at some point before we find out if that quake is a big deal or if it just kind of seems like something.
So let's take a look at what we know right now we are missing for Go mode. We know we are missing the boots logically, right? We know because even though you can complete Desert Palace, the logic is would say that you need the boots to complete the game. But we definitely need the flippers because we have Swamp Palace still out there. Things I may have said 15 minutes ago to the contrary. We definitely have to have the flute, and that's about it at this point. But where in God's green earth are they? We do know that pedestal is dead, so we are not going to need to complete all the pendant dungeons. And what's interesting though is that what if those precious flippers are sitting on Trinex? Then we need the ice rod.
I think my just kind of stated my feeling towards that idea.
Green Pendant Turtle Rock. We all know that portends ill.
Yeah, that is something that could very likely happen. Now that a big kind of shout out to both of our runners there, remembering the one other thing that hammer unlocked here being Spike Cave. Now, unfortunately, Ack had already gone through this. Dunk is going to find out that it's nothing, but yeah, being right here, you kind of have to check this immediately because you wouldn't want to come back for it. Dunk is going to get his 10 arrows, but Ack is going to make his way all the way back over to Helmasaur. And well, what's the next step here?
It depends on what's on Helma.
What are we thinking? Okay, we got flute, probably. We've got a
flips.
That's
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to have a fetch quest with either the powder or mushroom. Now, the powder would not be a bad find anywhere, but
you probably wouldn't be too excited to see it because you're just like, now I got to walk all the way into where?
Yeah, true, but
I suppose it could also be boots. We could also be finding boots here at that point, and that would open up the two bonkable locations there and the right side of desert.
And remember hammer pegs, as chat is pointing out as well.
Oh dear.
Yep, speaking of having to walk all the way over there.
I in that case, yeah, sure, give me powder, because then I got 2 checks at least, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Man, this is a rough seed there. But to be honest though, I think people might be kind of happy with this as a qualifier though, because outside of that Quake medallion, I haven't seen anything that we would call, I don't know, surprising or trolly or anything. Everything has been dead straight line linear.
Which is both a good thing and a bad thing. You know, a linear seed like this really benefits a runner with the better execution as opposed to the better decision making. Of course, the best have both, but those are really the two things that, you know, the randomizer tests is your execution and your decision making, your ability to read the seed. A linear seed kind of removes the decision making aspect and puts it down to raw execution. There's ether. That is not what anybody wanted to see.
Turtle Rock. Let's go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, nobody wanted to see that, but you know, it seems to be the mantra of this version that if it's blue and it's required, it's in Pendant Turtle Rock.
Oh, Ack smartly remembering that he has defeated Aga and you can't just save and quit because you'll end up on the pyramid there, and quickly saving and quitting up to the mountain when we're gonna have to, well, take another little stroll.
Yeah, there has been a lot of walking. Link is definitely getting his 10,000 steps in today.
Oh man, if he doesn't hit like 20, I'll be shocked, honestly. You know, that'd be a fun little addition to like the practice hack or something like that. How many steps did Link take in an actual seed?
Yeah, it's Chad is saying now. Some people are saying they might have done fake flipper ice. Honestly, I would have. In a heartbeat, I would have.
I feel like that's probably a pretty good play right now, especially with Samaria and such like that. You go in, you icebreaker that thing, you get 3 minutes. You probably are not getting anything out of it, but just because, you know, what you're looking for. If you get a fluke, though, you know that, hey, flippers are somewhere else. But I mean, we're gonna see here as Ack finally gets through his massive number of items there to find his hammer, and we're opening up the turtle.
Wow. You gotta believe that at least the flute or the flippers are in here. You know, the tragedy would be if they're both in here and somebody decides to nope out after finding one of them.
That is unfortunately kind of one of the big decisions you're going to make. Now, I guess this would be the first one that I feel like, well, the second thing that could really trip up a runner today is how far into Turtle Rock are these items? Or if we want to get really silly, they might not even be here, and they might actually just be sitting in hammer pegs right now.
That is unfortunately true. There's the flute.
Oh, decision time. What do you do?
And he's thinking. He's thinking.
Oh, okay.
And Ack's just going to say, you know what? I'm going to check Meyer area.
Yeah, that's, yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing. You can't argue with the decision. It's a decision. That's pretty much what it is right now. And if you're rooting for Ack, you're going to have to hope that works out for him. Because that is a pure gut feeling, let's see how it works out sort of moment for him.
Well, it gives him a completable crystal dungeon that not only is completable crystal dungeon, is also a 5/6 crystal.
True.
So that, a lot of people are saying that this is an oof by Ack. Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. You've got the 2 items in Misery Mire. You've got 2 items in Mire Shed. You've got the 1 item in Checkerboard Cave, and I believe, Tower of Hera was the other 5/6 crystal. So now you have 2 items at Pyramid Fairy. So lots of stuff here. And is Ack going to? He is not going to warp to the Dark World and check hammer pegs. Interesting.
I don't blame him. I think at this point, you're just kind of going, it's going to be in Mire. It's got to be in Mire because the game has been so, point-to-point linear so far that it's just kind of working that way through. As I did not catch that Mire medallion. Did you?
I didn't either.
It's going to have to ask our Eagle Eye trackers to get there. Is that Bombos for Mire?
No.
Oh no, that's not good.
Oof.
That might mean Dunka here. He's going towards the back of Turtle Rock. Might have just kind of, I almost want to say inadvertently made the right play.
Possibly. We'll see. It depends on what's here in Checkerboard. I got Checkerboard. Let's see if Ack does hammer pegs at this point. But yeah, Bigdunka looks like he might be in the driver's seat, at least between these two runners right now, depending on what's in this back part of Turtle Rock. Unless hammer pegs turns out to be something. Interesting seed so far.
Yeah, this I would say business picked up here. The moment we got that item in the very front of Turtle Rock there, right then it's going, okay, we're changing up. We're going to change this up quite a bit here. As it turns out, second item in Turtle Rock, just a piece of heart. This is the breaking point of the seed. This is where you're going to see the biggest difference between qualifier times here is what was your decision coming into Turtle Rock.
Yep.
And Ack is going to take this time here, knock down all of these pegs, find out exactly what is hiding here in this peg cave.
Not anything important. So it looks like Dunka, I'm trying to think. I think that it has to be in Turtle Rock. There has to be some progression here in Turtle Rock, at least by logic. Yeah, I don't think they got it. They don't have anything else with. Yeah, no, they don't. Nothing. There's nothing else they can do right now except Turtle Rock.
Yeah, for Ack, he can go ahead. He's going to clear the back of Thieves Town. I think this is one of those plays where you kind of made your bed here. Yeah, like you're going. I'm leaving Turtle Rock. I'm done with Turtle Rock. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So he's kind of decided that, that's my last location now. Dunka, on the other hand, he's already done this, so we are back into getting deep into Turtle Rock now. Item number 3, just 300 rupees. Oh man.
Well, there's a saying that we have in the Crystal Company, and that is, the answer is always Laser Bridge. And it looks like that will ring true here today for Bigdunka.
I can't see any way that it's almost not, unless it's going to be sitting here on this one chest. No, that's got to be a key, to get to Laser Bridge.
So, yep, the answer is always Laser Bridge.
Now here's the fun thing: we get Ice Rod down here, and it turns out it was on green pendant the entire time.
Yeah, but remember, we got Ether, pretty late here. Ether was on Helmasaur King, so I mean, Dunka's basically going to Turtle Rock, and same thing with Ack. They both went to Turtle Rock as soon as they were able to.
I can't say either runner has done anything wrong. Like Ack making that decision, that was a perfectly defensible decision. Like
Oh,
I guess
absolutely.
the only thing you could have argued
There's
with is
Bombos!
ah,
Oh, the answer is in fact Laser Bridge. Duncan. Wait,
got
Duncan,
both
no doubt
items.
he missed one item. He missed.
He got both of the items. That was 5. He got all 5 items out of Turtle Rock.
Okay.
So Dunka is fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so the answer is, hey, go all the way to Laser Bridge. Now Dunka is gonna feel probably pretty good the moment he gets to Misery Mire there and sees that it's Bombos. He's gonna have this moment of, oh, that's gonna probably have gained me a time on, I don't know, half of the runners here.
Yeah, so again, two items in Turtle Rock. I hate to say I called it, but yeah, it comes down to the decision of, do you nope out after you found that first item, or do you go the distance? Bigdunka went the distance, and it paid off. Now, Duncan doing an interesting trick here. You see, he has his sword out, and he's ready to do a spin slash. If you do that, as soon as the cutscene for the flute is over here, he will execute the spin slash, and he'll immediately be able to activate the flute and call the duck. Otherwise, you'd have to wait a few seconds. Nifty little trick that only saves a couple of seconds, but very, very interesting thing to do.
Well, yeah, definitely in a race of 127 people, a couple of seconds might get you 5 places.
Yep.
Oh, so Dunka is down here. I almost kind of want to. I kind of want to almost be able to hear his internal monologue when he sees that it's Bomb there, and just probably there might be a scream of joy. I'm not exactly sure.
What is Ack doing?
He's gonna go finish Landmo.
Desert. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where he's headed, I think. He's hoping at this point. Yeah, it's just I jumped out of Turtle Rock, and I am praying that it's the right choice. So let me do everything else I can possibly do.
Yeah, but remember that, and this is something I didn't realize until you brought it up a while back, though. But this is technically out of logic at this point.
Yeah, no, we still need. Technically, we still need the boots to finish this seed, and that always kind of brings up the interesting little question of, hey, yes, we need the boots to finish the seed. So where's the GT big key going to be then?
Yeah, right.
I mean, at this point, the good news is that if the big key is on the torch, it's got to be somewhere in one of the 3 locations left in Hyrule that these runners haven't checked.
Yeah. It looks like Dunka has to find something here in Mire. There has to be either the flute or the ice rod, right, or the boots. So one of those 3 has got to be here in Mire.
Yeah.
Or possibly the mushroom or powder. Yeah, if you're talking about fetch quests, but it has to lead to one of those 3 items.
Definitely. It's almost one of those where you're kind of going, I don't want to call cutscene chest yet. But I'm not gonna be shocked.
Yeah, exactly. And if I said flute, I meant flippers. I think you're right. Forgive me. I drink scotch while I do this commentary.
The other blue thing that we're looking for. Hopefully, we're not going to find the other blue thing, which is going to be which would be the ice rod. At that point, you'd see all of our runners just immediately. You'd see a mass forfeit at that point. I think just being like, nope, I've had it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, all right, coming in. Duncan's already found the first, and of course it's going to be a Godmire.
Of course, because it's never a Godmire when you're in Go mode.
Nope. And I'm gonna slowly. Yeah, I feel like I've said that a couple of times today. Slowly walk through the hallways here.
But So we'll see something here. An interesting little tidbit is if there is a small key in this chest right here, which there isn't, but if that had been a small key, the big key would have been guaranteed to be in cutscene chest.
It's on the mushroom.
But the mushroom, wow.
It's on...
Wow.
Um.
Wow. Would you like to do a fetch quest?
Oh, man. Okay, yep, okay, thank you, Hydra. You're pointing it out. It could still be Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, yeah. We mentioned that a while back. Nobody's gone there.
Ah, man, this is just insane here. So yeah, we're opening up Pyramid Fairy and Mushroom. So yeah, probably the best play here would be immediately after this, fluting to 4, grabbing your big bomb, taking it up, blasting through the pyramid, because luckily one thing, we did kill Aga, so that's going to be much faster. Finding that it's nothing, and then turning in the mushroom.
Yeah. What a seed. I picked a great time to do commentary rather than compete.
I had my name down for this, but I figured if I didn't get selected, I'd just go ahead and run this seed. I would probably... I think today I'm very happy that I'm on commentary.
Well, you know, the other thing about this is, again, I want to point this out again. Runners of the caliber that we have here, Bigdunka is going to be at just barely little under 130, be about 124, but he only has 5 crystals and still isn't in go mode.
I mean, is he 5 now?
Yeah.
God. I mean, I guess we are making progress, but man, none of it's fast.
And that's the point. Like, you're sitting here in this match. You're at an hour and a half and you're not in go mode. You have got to be believing that you have missed something somewhere.
I see, but that is the thing though. Like, if you've been paying attention to the seed,
sure.
I don't know if you have. Now, Dunka is this going to be? This is going to be. Okay, yeah. This is. I imagine this is the Hammer Pigs check on his side.
Yeah, more than likely. And Ack is making his way to the laser bridge where we know he's going to find that bombos that he so desperately needs. But
yeah, well, oh, I see what Dunka's doing. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of curious here. Pulling out that cape, he's draining his magic. It's taking a while because it's half magic.
He's gonna fake powder.
He's gonna fake powder with that mushroom. That's an interesting idea.
Pretty smart. Rather than waste the time by sitting there and like pulling out the fire rod and having to shoot it like 8 times to get to run your magic down. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, this could work out big for Ack, because if it turns out that after all of this ridiculous things here, he pulls I don't know, what are we looking for still? Flippers out of the bat here.
Yeah.
All right.
Just wow.
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest thing to say about this entire seed. It's just kind of going
Moment of truth. And yeah, I didn't think there was gonna be anything on bat, but
nah.
But we got Pyramid Fairy and we've got Mushroom now. But you know, good on Bigdunka for going ahead and hitting that up, doing that fake powder just in case.
Okay, but where is he going now?
That's what I was curious. Has he not? You know, he's checked Bumper Cave.
Right, he's checked. No, I thought
Graveyard Ledge.
Sure
he hasn't
checked
done
Graveyard
Ledge.
Oh, okay.
We shall see.
Yeah, this is kind of surprising. I would have checked this after Pyramid Fairy, if I was him, honestly. Because you can easily kind of like just mirror, not mirror, but hookshot right across the area. What the area there. But I mean, you know, at this point, I think there's a good chance that between the stress of a qualifier and everything else, there's a good chance that our runners' brains are basically mush at this point.
Oh yeah. Hell, mine's just about mush, and it doesn't have anything to do with the alcohol I've been drinking. It's the seed.
The seed has been just unreal. And I don't think you can get. Oh, you can. Okay, smart. Getting that full magic refill right before he needed to use magic to open up Misery Mire there. Kind of getting bailed out.
I think Bigdunka just forgot that he didn't have the flippers.
Yep, so he's going to have to take a mirror here and then go ahead and hookshot across anyway. Or now he's just going to flute.
Yep. All right, well, here we go. To this or Pyramid Fairy?
All right, survey says we've got ourselves...
We got ourselves 20 rupees is what we got.
Come on, pick it up. Pick it up, Ack. Pick it up.
Pick it up.
Oh, man. Wow.
Wow.
I love that. It's just, hey, do you want these? Come on, go ahead, take them.
Come on, yeah, you can't have them.
Take them. Come on, it's fine.
It's merely a mirage. And it's just a lousy 20 rupees.
Oh my god, this game. Wow. All right, so...
Got a question in the chat. Silvers are in hard mode. They are placed. So the randomizer will place them as a progressive bow. So if it were possible to have gotten that item before getting the first bow that our runners had, then that would have been the regular bow. But since Dunka already had the bow, that item still displays as the silvers, but if he had picked them up, they would have only been 20 rupees.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we get to see all of the runners who check that today get to see that lovely, lovely thing, and then not to get to do a single thing with it. All right, Pyramid Fairy time here on this. Is this finally the flippers? Not that one.
Yes, it is.
So at an hour and 30 minutes, we can call this go-ish mode.
Yeah, exactly. Just maybe. Yeah, 21 had a 22 go mode. I like that hydropower.
Yeah. I mean, again, if we do end up running into the big key on the GT big key on the torch there, that is we're gonna have a massive amount of information for these runners, because then at that point it's just I gotta go get the boots off of somewhere in theirs, because it cannot be locked in GT today thanks to the small key and desert. And chances are we find them here pretty soon.
I think they pretty much have to be, because we have full cleared Eastern, we have full cleared Thieves Town, we have full cleared 90% of Turtle Rock. The worst thing that could happen here would be the Ice Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see Bigdunka, I don't believe he checked the chest in the Pengator room over there. I think Bigdunka is just going to assume that the big key is not going to be on Bob's torch. Not a bad gamble to make. I mean, the odds are definitely in his favor, but I think he's just going to icebreaker here and just go straight to Cold Stare. Like, the only thing that can stop him now is if GT Big Key is on the torch.
And Bigdunka proving that he does know how to icebreaker there, contrary to popular belief, as he just smoothly gets right through there. And yeah, he's going to go mode all of this. And I agree with you completely there. It is time to just go for it if you're the runners here. It's just it's a 20, like you said, it's 21 out of 22. You're probably fine. And if you're not fine, you're going to have to assume that most every other runner is going to be in that same sort of stage of not particularly fine.
Yeah.
As Ack is still working his way through Misery Mire right now. Went ahead and took the big key and went directly to Vidi, hoping that he would find the second item back there. Unfortunately, it's not there. It's over on the Firelock side, which Ack is putting off as much as he possibly could. The reaction when he finds that mushroom is gonna be fun.
Very nice gold stare fight from Dunka. Answer chat's question, flips were in Pyramid Fairy.
After all of this time there and getting all the way through here, it took about around 3 minutes to go ahead and complete Ice Palace. Now, the other thing is Swamp Palace is also, and go moding Swamp Palace is also extremely quick, so that's probably going to only add maybe another 3 minutes to his time. Dunka is possibly looking at is still a really good time considering just how awful this seed has been.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's gonna finish Swamp here probably at about 138, 139. Then all he's got to do is GT. So sub 2 almost certainly here from Bigdunka, unless the worst happens and we need to find the boots somewhere. But yeah, just ugly seed. But yeah. This is what happens.
I mean, I haven't looked by any means yet, and I kind of hope that nobody else looks, but I can't imagine anybody is anywhere close to really finishing the seed yet, just because where would you have saved the time? I mean, it's just kind of one thing after another. You had to go, I mean, going into Pendant Pod to go get your mitts, to go get your mirror, to go get your hammer off of Ether Tablet, and then going back to Pod to get, and I mean, it was just one item locked behind another item today. There was no great gains of grabbing everything at the same time. As Ack was nice enough to pick up his silver arrows today, but if you did see, it did turn into the green 20 here. He's about to get his flippers, and I'll still call it go mode here. About 5 minutes behind Bigdunka as far as it goes there. That's kind of what you're going to see the difference between, I think, runners today, depending on what decision they made coming out of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's definitely the source of the delta between Ack and Bigdunka is merely that Turtle Rock decision.
Yeah, it was not an easy decision because, I mean, yeah, you're kind of hoping that there is nothing there, but at the same time, if you leave and it turns out that the flippers were just sitting in Misery Mire the entire time, you could have gotten into it because you had 2 of the 3 medallions, everything was great for you. But
Bigdunka not using the diver down trick here. Minimal time save, but still a time save.
So to answer a quick question in chat, there was a moment here, probably about a half an hour back there, where all of the runners were forced into Turtle Rock there. Now, Ack got into there first, and unfortunately, one of the first things he checked turned out to be the flute, which opened up Misery Mire to him in his idea. Now, he didn't know at the time that he needed bombos in there, which was sitting on Laser Bridge. So Ack made a perfectly defensible decision to just bail out of Turtle Rock after that flute and take the 66% chance that he goes there. Duncan doing a good kill here of Argus. Takes him down with the two sword spins there, grabs his thing, and that's going to put him at 7 crystals, and we are on to GT, where we're not going to run the bot, but I do believe we still play a game here.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 chests and locations in Ganon's Tower in which the big key could be. Get your guess in the chat right now. If you get the number correctly, you will win
stuff. Things.
You'll win.
Internet
You'll
points.
Win.
You'll win.
You'll win.
That's more important.
You will win.
So let's go ahead and get your numbers in here. I don't know. I guess we'll cut it off here immediately once our runners get themselves into once Dunka gets into GT there.
There's the diver down trick, finding the wrong cane and the blueberries there for Ack. They're in Swamp Palace. But Bigdunka's going to be heading on into the Pig Tower.
Now, going up into the gauntlet. Now, kind of interesting there. Both of the runners only having 13 hearts at the moment here, so we're not all the way at max health yet, considering everything we've done today.
Yeah, they have skipped a couple of heart pieces. Obviously, both skipped the heart piece at Dig Spot. There was a heart piece on Floating Island. There's another heart piece they all skipped too. So,
and to be honest, that makes a lot of sense, because one of those things that you kind of like to have happen especially in like late game dungeons, is opening up a chest when you're at low health, getting the 4th heart piece, and then flipping up there.
Yeah.
That's one of those reasons why a lot of runners, like, you might not want to pick up a heart piece early in the game here, as Dunka is climbing into GT right now.
Yeah, interesting that his first check was not the torch.
Well, we're going to see the torch in just a second here. So he's about to walk down the stairs, and we're going to 100% say that, yeah, Bigdunka is completely in go mode, unless he really wants those 10 arrows.
And that means Acktheboker is also in go mode, but he is a good dungeon behind Bigdunka at this point, barring something catastrophic occurring on Bigdunka's side. Looks like of our 2 winners here, Bigdunka is likely going to be the first to finish. Never say never, though, but if I were a betting man, that's where I would be right at this point.
I mean, this is still hard mode, and Ganon is still Ganon, and he does deliver very painful hugs. So,
Ganon hugs are the best hugs.
They are quite nice, but at the same time, you probably need a little bit more than 14 hearts in green mail for it. So things can go wrong still, but yeah, it does kind of look like Dunka definitely has the large advantage here, as Ack taking just a little bit of time here to go ahead and set up Icebreaker here on his side. He'll be up in GT here pretty quick as well.
There's a Bigdunka about to do check number 9 here. just a small key. We've got 10 through 13 coming up. Of course, 13 is always my guess. So
all right, also going ahead and go moding Ice Palace as well, not stopping for anything. And there it goes. There's your big key. Number 10, you said, I think, right?
And the answer is 10. If you guessed 10, congrats. I mean, I don't have anything to give you, but yay.
Yay. Oh no, hey, guess where the ice rod was? Oh wow, that's so yeah, ice rod sitting there in in the freeze ore chest in Ice Palace. So if you had fake flippered into Ice Palace before going into Turtle Rock, I wonder if you had finished it.
I would have, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And Ack probably would have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, especially with that tantalizing green pendant sitting on Trinex, yeah.
I mean, at this point, with just so little there, you almost assume it's just vanilla boots.
I think it has to be at this point. I don't think there's any other location for them to be.
Maybe Swamp Palace, but yeah, there's not a lot of things available by any means. As Ack goes ahead, takes down Cold Share, he's on to his 7th crystal with almost, as you can see, both runners with almost a completely full dungeon count here. Dunka making his way quickly through the first 2 rooms of this gauntlet, using that fire rod to his advantage.
Yeah, they're right. It could be left side Swamp or Ice Tea holding the boots. And actually, yeah, since they're logically required, that kind of has to be there since the ice rod. Well, no, the ice rod was in Ice Palace. So, oh man, this is baking my noodle over here.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, it's just, I mean, you don't expect a seed to go this long with this caliber of players there, but like I said, there really wasn't too many time saves in this one. It just was long and unwieldy here. There was a very nice land mode too, though, on Dunka's side.
Absolutely. Ack heading on up. Get into GT.
Good point. There are 0 bunks this seed there. That is a good point there. I'm seeing from chat. That is entirely accurate.
Yep.
All right, Torch is 1 here on Dunka's side. Got the fire rod out. Gonna go through here. Looks like he's doing this perfectly. Not gonna take any damage from that fire bar. Gonna be able to run down here and just cruise right up those stairs and into Torches 2. Yeah, if you're learning how to play that game, play this game here, that is exactly what that is supposed to look like.
So we just got 2 mini bosses and a big pig left to go here. See how trolly the troll dorm will be here. Bigdunka gets knocked off. Probably not. He's pretty good at this.
Moldorm looked like he was aiming for him, but yeah, 2 spins took him down there.
Oh, Bigdunka trying to time the hook shot there to get it as soon as the chest appears. Didn't quite work.
All right, up to Aga 2 over on Bigdunka's side as Ack is working his way. He's going to make his way over to Rando room there. I didn't happen to see if he went to the Hope room yet. He might go for kind of I vaguely call them Dark Magician strats, but when you go to the Stalfos room and then mirror out, that's exactly what he's doing. So he's going to lose a little bit of time in here. Unfortunately, going to the right side here.
Bigdunka getting a triple on Aga 2 there, making short work of that boss. And here we go. Time to make some bacon. Now, You were mentioning the quality hugs that Ganon gives here. Care to mention how many hearts of damage a Ganon hug does in green mail?
Oh God, I didn't realize we were gonna have a quiz today. I want to say it's 14 or is it 12?
It's 8.
It's 8 on green. It's only 8.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 8 on green mail. Yep. It is. It's still an ugly hug, but yeah.
Okay, I'm extremely wrong, so that feels good.
Yeah, but remember, when you only have 13 hearts, you're in 2-hit territory. But most of the time you're not going to come in contact with Ganon's body here, so it's those fire bats that are the problem.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things where I think most of the hugs that happen to Ganon is one of those things where you go to press the button there and kind of nothing comes out. Ooh, that's not a great place for Ganon to take his first to start phase 4, but Dunka getting the torch glitch, no problem here. Now it's just a matter of trying to get as many triples on Ganon as he can.
Good job there. Yeah, you have to pull out that fire rod because you cannot use the lamp while you are charging where you're holding your sword out. Excuse me. You can with the fire rod.
And Dunka losing the timing just a little bit there here. Going to be able to get him down. I want to say he's well over halfway into the Ganon fight as it is there. That's not the best place for Ganon to go, up there in the top right corner.
Doing a good job here, and that is it. Bigdunka has finished the game. Once he crosses the threshold, we will be able to give you his official time as well as his standing in this 127-person race. GG's to Bigdunka. He will finish, and the clock will be an official time of 1 hour. I'm trying to find it.
I got it for you. 1 hour,
there you go.
49 minutes, and 11 seconds for Bigdunka there. 9th place overall.
Very nicely done. As 9th place overall, we will let you know first place was Matt7978 with a 139.45. Second place, Goomba 143.04. Nep at 143.30. Scoople 135.42, Plasma Kappa 147.11, Bonta at 148, Fry at 148.53, Magnet Hands at 148.54, and Bigdunka good enough for 9th place. Very good showing here in this qualifier race. GG's Bigdunka. I'm sure that was your favorite seed that you have ever run.
That was hot, steamy garbage.
Yeah, that's about right. I no lies detected.
Yeah, I just had found out that where Boots were at. And
left side swamp?
Waterfall Cave. One of the places you would normally go.
We all forgot about that.
You've never had a reason to go back. It is never anywhere close to on the radar.
And that is the location that killed me in yesterday's qualifier.
Yeah, it's I mean, we knew it couldn't have been in GT, so it had to be somewhere flipper locked, and it's just like but that's like the one spot that it's easy to get to, but why would you ever go back?
Yeah. What a seed. Aga required. How about both of the fire sources in Eastern Palace?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy that that Moon Pearl didn't show up. Well, I mean, obviously Moon Pearl would have been nice, but if Moon Pearl would have shown up, I would have potentially just gone to Aga a little bit earlier. But yeah, having both in there early was really nice. And I mean, Fire Rod's always nice to get early, but and at least you didn't have to try to do Aga in the dark.
Yes. I mean, that we were, Dazed and I were sitting here trying to figure out how could you have saved time in this seed? The only thing we could come up with was possibly gambling on Aga early and then being able to route some things a little bit more efficiently. That's
Or
perhaps finding those boots.
maybe finding boots. Because Mira was behind Nit, so you couldn't get up to to get the hammer, so you can't do that.
I mean, I guess like one thing that I've kind of thought about is maybe if you say fake flippered into Ice Palace at one point, right? And if you fake flipper into Ice Palace, maybe you check the Waterfall Ferry before you do that. You get boots, you save yourself a bit of time there. You complete Turtle Rock. I mean, even then though, I mean, we're talking like just minutes as, ooh, no, Ack getting bullied there by Moldorm too. There's just nothing.
Yeah, I took, I think, 1 or maybe even 2 additional trips up to Death Mountain. 1 for sure. I probably could have pulled it off in 1 less. I didn't go to Catfish. That was the only thing that I didn't do.
It wasn't anything anyway.
Yeah, I mean, none it could have been.
Well, clearly. This is almost a hundo.
Yeah, so you're right. There's not. This is just execution and not being in one of the 2 or 3 gotchas that are out there. Don't leave the flute behind, or don't leave after the flute and leave Bombos behind.
And that's what Ack did.
Yeah, I heard.
How tempted were you to bail there after you got that flute?
God. Totally, because I was banking on potential Quake. Because Quake was in the big chest, and I suspect a lot of people would have Harapotted there and missed Quake. So I was kind of betting on Quake being there, but at the same time, knowing boots were in very limited locations, and I'm going to finish this.
I just have to say that was a beautiful triple Ack just got on Agahnim too. That was style points definitely there for Ack. So Ack is getting ready to run into his Ganon fight now as well, but what a seed.
Yeah. When only one person in a field like this finishes sub 140, that's a cluster.
Yeah, that tells you something right there.
I mean, yeah, knowing Matt's general level of play here, I can't say I'm shocked by any means, but I am definitely going to go back and watch it and just try to see exactly where he gained that time, because that's a great time that he put up there for this seed.
It's got to be just a minute here, a minute there, minimum Death Mountain trips. That's got to be what it was, which makes sense. But yeah, there's not a lot of time you can save.
Yeah, Matt said he did not get boots, but he also did not nope out of Turtle Rock either.
Oh, he couldn't have. There's no way. That would have cost him 5 minutes.
Yeah, at a minimum.
Yeah, it was Ack is into his Ganon fight. We're already into phase 3 on his side here, just showing how quickly you can take down this pig pretty much. Gonna have to get the same warps as Dunka got a second ago, but he should be done here in just a minute as well.
Did you find the arrows on Planet Zebus? Wrong game.
No. Didn't you see, Game? They were sitting there in the potion shop.
Yeah. That was hilarious for us watching.
I mean, at some point there, it was just kind of like we were actually more shocked that the mushroom didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, at that point, it's just like, how many few spots could it have been? It's just there wasn't much there. I actually was starting to feel good by the time I had found flips and realized what was going on, that there was still something weird going on because people hadn't finished yet.
And there goes the pig over on Acktheboker's side. GG's to Ack. And we'll see here what his official time will be as soon as he crosses the bridge here. And the clock from racetime.gg reads for Acktheboker 1 hour, 56 minutes, 32 seconds. Good enough for 35th place out of 127 entrants. GG's to Ack. If I remember correctly, Ack doesn't usually come in for interviews.
But yeah, definitely go ahead and get your GGs in here. If he comes in, we'll give him a little. We'll talk to him for a bit. But if not, then we'll see. But yeah, no. I mean, gosh, what a
has he changed? He may have changed his. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's been a while. Come on, y'all. I haven't done commentary really much since the last main tournament, so I'm spitballing here.
Well, looks like Ack is in the setup room here, so
there he is.
Hopefully, will be jumping up with us in just a moment here, because I'm sure he's got opinions about this amazing seed that he had to walk his way through. I mean, it felt
There's
long.
the Ack. GG's.
Oh,
I'm sure this
hello,
was your
GG.
favorite seed you've ever played.
I am 100% serious when I say this. I thought this was a boot start tournament, so little did I know that it was actually quite the opposite. So I was like, wait, where are they? I went and checked the messages or the document and everything. I was like, oh, they must have just forgot. They'll put them in the next seeds, I'm sure.
GG Falabaldi. On that end,
GG, man.
I'm gonna step out.
A little nervous because I know I'd been training really hard with Blaine for this matchup, and he said that if I lost, he was going to make me do so many push-ups, but I guess that's okay. We're just going to come back stronger. So
Push-ups, hell, that's a job requirement for some of us. But any rate, yeah, that was so the boots were in Waterfall Ferry, apparently.
Lovely. Well, there was a very short list of where they could have been in case they were required. I note that they were going to need it. I put off Desert forever because I knew that the boots couldn't be there, and I was like, dude, I want to go where the boots are.
Right. Yeah, but so the probably one of the big differences in that race was your decision to nope out of Turtle Rock. I'm not trying to rub anything in. We gotta talk about it. So what was your calculus, your decision making process there?
It looked very good for the time being because I had already had Quake, I had Ether, then Misery Mire was the last of the 5-6. So you had the two items in Mire Shed Checkerboard. At that point, I still could have actually finished Desert 2 and then finishing Mire. And then it felt like that would have been a huge time save to not have to do the rest of Turtle Rock. It seemed like there was possibly more left in Mire. And I also did not feel like my seed was going very well either. So it's like, what, we can cut a little cord in here. But this was all squares, man. There was no corners to cut.
Yeah, there really were very few. And as we mentioned before, when there's only one person that finishes under an hour 40.
You hear that, Race Council? Did you hear that? What he just said? I'm only joking. Is Matt. Matt's an awesome runner.
Yeah, Matt's very, very, very good at this.
There's like 780 or 7,888 other Matts, but honestly, I think he's probably the best.
Yeah, of that, yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Yeah. It took him that many to perfect it.
Why would you be offended?
Nah, well, no, he's fantastic. There's no other way around it. There, if you're pulling a 139 on something like this, you did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, sick guys. GG, thank you for the commentary and tracking and restream and all of that. Since I Blaine, if you're listening, I promise next time I'll come back stronger. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Have a good night, guys.
All right, Ack. Thanks for joining us today. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this broadcast of this qualifying race for the 2021 Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a whole lot more qualifiers coming your way. The next qualifier will be Wednesday, day after tomorrow, at 6 a.m. Eastern Time in the U.S., 11 a.m. CET, for you Europe folks, probably a little bit more accessible race then. Obviously, I will not be commentating that race because I'll be awake, but I'll be preparing for work. But that is our next race, Friday, March 26th at 11 p.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. CET. Then Saturday, March 27th, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. CET. Those are the next few races we have coming up. Stay tuned. Check the schedule for when those races will be. We have not, or what channel those races will be. But if you want to make sure that you don't miss them, why don't you follow SpeedGaming 1 through 5 here on twitch.tv, along with ALTTPR Randomizer 1 through 5, also here on Twitch. Because if you follow all of those, you won't be able to miss it, because that's where they're going to be restreamed. One final shout out from me before I turn it over to my co-commentator for the last word. Remember to follow the runners here on Twitch today, as I've always said, putting in hard work for your entertainment. Give them their support. And finally, I would like to shout out not just my incredible commentary partner, Days Cloud, who did a fantastic job with us here today, but also our tracker Siriu here, because the tracking is probably the most important thing for the broadcast, because it puts so much information up there. It adds so much to the presentation of this race. It's vital, and our trackers don't get enough love. So thank you, Siriu, for tracking here. We appreciate that effort. And of course, to our restreamer, who was restreaming this one?
I want to say it was T Sigma.
I think it was T Sigma. Yeah, I think he popped smoke on us. Man, why would he go and do that? But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. I have been Phantom Ryu signing off. I will see you guys again soon. Days Cloud, thank you so much for being my commentary partner today. You, sir, may have the last word.
Yeah, big thank you to Phantom Ryu. That I've been looking forward to commenting with you since God knows how long. So this has just been a real pleasure there. This was a ton of fun, even for the kind of ridiculous seed we ended up having. Again, yeah, big thank you to our trackers. I will say this: if you're interested in jumping in and volunteering with this tournament, follow some of those links that we put into the chat there. Join the Discord, get involved. It's a great community. Other than that, everybody, you have a great night, great morning, wherever you are. Have a good one there, and we will see you next time.